You are listening to Thunderbolt Sports Talk. Here are your hosts, Charlie Adams and Timothy Yeen.
Welcome to episode number 4 of season 2 of Thunderbolt Sports Talk. We're here back live for our 4th episode of season 2. As always, Charlie Adams joined by Tim Yeen. And there's plenty to talk about after the Super Bowl. And there's big events coming up in Cranston East, Tim. But let's start it off with a public apology, Tim.
You know, as president of Thunderbolt Sports Media, I apologize for the quality of last week's episode. It was not up to the standard that we should have given our fans. Our fans should have deserved better, and we deeply apologize for that.
We know that we've been battling sickness, and Tim is no stranger to that. And he seems to have gotten a little better, so hopefully he won't try to get you sick over the air again this episode. We should be all right in avoiding any airborne illnesses, as the sniffles seem to be gone. And we also got a couple of things wrong throughout the episode. But let's move on to the biggest thing that happened since our last episode was the Super Bowl. We made our picks last episode, and the Super Bowl lived up to all expectations.
Yeah, started slow a little bit at first. I mean, more of a defensive slugfest. But, you know, end of the game, you got a little bit more hyped up if you're more the offensive guy. You know, to look at things, both teams played a great game. You know, really nothing to complain about for either side. But, you know, like I said before in the previous episode, which apparently was barely audible for it, you know, the Chiefs always find themselves in these situations. I mean, they always find themselves in the right moment of time. It was just the way this entire postseason. So, you know, and they won in overtime. And, you know, as they say, Chaz, patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. And the Chiefs were patient to methodically drive down that field during the overtime period and score that touchdown. You know, they were patient the entire game.
Well, I know you're a big fan of these kindness flyers that you can pick up in the hallway at Cranston East. I'm pretty sure you've picked up almost every single one they've had to offer.
Yeah.
The big thing with that game, I think, was it was the first overtime we've seen in the playoffs that had the new overtime rules, and maybe it caught some fans by surprise, or maybe it even caught Kyle Shanahan by surprise, and it seemed like the 49ers were not prepared for those rules, and they made a pretty kind of questionable decision on the coin toss. I know Patrick Mahomes was very excited to see that he got the ball second and had a chance to go out and win the game no matter what. I don't know if that's really the right decision if you knew what the overtime rules were going into that game.
Yeah, I mean, we heard from, you know, Kyle Juszczyk that, you know, some of the Niners players didn't really know the new overtime rules, you know, what they understood. So they just went off the basis of, you know, the OG overtime rules. So obviously in the new rules, it's much more preferred that, you know, you take the ball, you know, or defer it and give it to the other team. So you know what they're going to do. You know what you have to match. And, you know, the Niners didn't know that, and the Chiefs took advantage. They knew what to do. They drove down that field, winning seconds of overtime. Mecole Hardman got that touchdown.
Well, you know, with all this NFL Films content coming out after the Super Bowl, we saw how excited Mahomes was about the overtime coin toss, but we also saw how quickly he reacted to Dre Greenlaw's injury as he was running onto the field early in the game when he tore his Achilles. He was right on the ball about that, and it was a major impact throughout the whole game.
Major impact. That was all just purely accidental. You know, it really sucks, especially for a player of his caliber like Greenlaw. And it really took a blow to the Niners defense. And even though they, you know, allowed only 19 points in regulation, you know, that loss was still impacted. You know, the loss still impacted, you know, the team overall, you know, team morale too. Obviously, you have a guy, you know, who's that level of talent off the field. You're bound to get some question marks. But, you know, again, a huge loss really is what kind of aided the Chiefs to a victory right there.
Yep, his replacement Burks gave up 9 receptions on 9 targets and allowed 137 passer rating with a 32 Pro Football Focus grade and 134.7 passer rating when targeted, and gave up a touchdown. It was a big target that was gone after time and time again, and it was a great game that the 49ers came up short again. Kyle Shanahan comes up short for another Super Bowl. He was the OC over in Atlanta for that 28-3 victory back when the Patriots were worth watching. And he's kind of just seeming like, I don't know, can he get over the hump at this point? There's plenty of good teams he has, and he's just not getting there.
Definitely have to agree with you, Jazz. I mean, the question, you already mentioned it. I mean, the Falcons, the Niners teams, those have all been really, really good teams that, he hasn't been able to overcome. I mean, obviously playing the Chiefs and the Patriots, where the Chiefs are basically a dynasty at this point now. It's kind of tough looking from that standpoint. Playing 2 dynasties in different eras. Obviously a tough task, but again, the question is, can he, if the opportunity does come that the Niners in the Super Bowl, Chiefs aren't, is he able to overcome that? The question is, you just don't know.
The entertainment on the field was great. Things really picked up at the final moments in the fourth and the overtime period. But the entertainment didn't stop there, because the Nickelodeon broadcast was very entertaining, with SpongeBob and Patrick serving as analysts. And it brought on a great game if you were able to tune in. An exciting one from Bikini Bottom.
Wow. I'm sure you'd like to explain that one, Chaz, because I am an unfortunate adult. I like to, tune in to the adult broadcast. But tell me how it was.
All right, buddy.
Tell me how it was.
A little too old for the Nickelodeon. You can never be too old to enjoy SpongeBob and Patrick. They had plenty of celebrities on hand, including LeBron James, Samuel L. Jackson, Doja Catfish, Billie Eilish, Finn Diesel, Shrimpy Chalamet, Snoop Fishy Dogfish, Oprah Winfrey, Jason Kelpie and Taylor Fish, Olivia Rodrigo, Piranha, Dua Lipa, and Megan Thee Sturgeon. Just a couple of these names, and it was a star-studded cast over in Bikini Bottom for a great game. And Squidward, he did make his way into the broadcast. You got to know that Sandy Cheeks was the sideline reporter on that one.
Wasn't Larry the Lobster playing a couple snaps?
Yeah, and there was some cameos from Larry, some cameos from Plankton. I know Plankton shot a cameraman live on air and didn't get caught. I don't know how he managed that. He was on the field looking very menacing over that game. But, yeah, Squidward was there. He was stuck in the bathroom line forever. He was getting pretty angry. And then when we checked back in on him, he made his way back to his seat. But the fan in front of him was standing up the whole game and wouldn't sit down. He had no view of the field. Just another rough one for Squidward. But all in all, the Nickelodeon broadcast was a great time.
Yeah, I don't know, Jazz. Maybe I'm just too old for Grandma's cookies.
All right, buddy. All right. Doodle Bob, I can't go without mentioning Doodle Bob. Doodle Bob looked at Taylor Swift and said, "Hi, pretty lady." I didn't know that Doodle Bob was into Taylor Swift, but now we do. Glad we got that confirmed. I'm sure it's canon.
Is that the Doodle Bob Riz?
Yeah, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. The entertainment on Nickelodeon had a halftime show of Sweet Sweet Victory, which was being begged for a couple of years ago, and we got a little taste of it. Now we got a full halftime show from SpongeBob. He tore the house down. But let's talk about the main broadcast, the adult broadcast, which seemingly really was the adult broadcast. When we got to the halftime show with Usher, there was a lot going on in this performance, and you might have wanted the kids to tune in to Nickelodeon for that one.
Oh yeah, that was certainly a halftime show. Usher played all the songs that he needed to play. Most importantly, yeah. At the end.
Missed Daddy's Home. That's the big thing. Everyone's very upset that he didn't play Daddy's Home.
Yeah. You can only play so many songs at the halftime show. Alicia Keys was there. Might have been a little bit of a controversy with an edited version on the YouTube. But, Alicia Keys did her thing. You got her playing guitar, HER.
I saw people on TikTok.
Albeit,
it was
questionably.
It was an uncle, I think, or a dad, literally, like, being so steadfast that her was Northwest and Usher was Kanye West.
What?
And everyone kept saying, that's her. And he said, I know that's her. That's Northwest. And they said,
you're
no,
gonna
that's her.
You're going to have to send me that one.
I mean, it's pretty interesting of a watch. I don't know where you would expect Northwest, Kanye's daughter, to be performing the halftime show, playing the guitar for some reason. I don't know where he got it from.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there was some interesting guitar playing. A lot of people thought that it wasn't guitar playing at all.
I don't think it was guitar playing at all. I mean, it didn't look like it, obviously. But to continue on, I thought the halftime show was pretty good. I said 7 after I listened or watched in. I'm still gonna say 7. I thought it was a good halftime show. Usher did his thing. Gave his effort, played his songs. He provided a good spark, and Lil Jon and Ludacris coming out really boosted that as well. So I really liked it. I
didn't really tune in too closely to the performance, but from what I saw, it looked all right. I'll give it a 6.4. I think the halftime shows with Katy Perry and Left Shark, Right Shark Incident, and all these great ones that we've had, like Lady Gaga jumping off the stage at the end of her performance, and all these memorable performances. I don't think it was the most memorable, but I thought it did the job.
Yeah, it did the job.
The national anthem hit the over, and the Gatorade color was purple. And we kind of knew that the Gatorade color was going to be purple once the line moved late. I also saw a video by Chris Gronkowski, the brother of Rob Gronkowski. He said that players know the Gatorade color 3 hours before the game. So maybe the line was moving a little bit around there, but purple was kind of confirmed once we saw that big jump. And those are the real bets that everyone cares about. The heads or tails opening coin flip. I had heads. It hit. I couldn't put money on it, but if I did, I would have won. So
yeah,
tails hit in overtime.
You're not a betting man?
Well, I'm not a betting man who can bet legally.
No.
So.
But when you hit the glorious, 18?
Yeah, I believe.
Oh, you're gonna?
Probably not.
Yeah, you sure? You're not just saying that for the podcast?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm a little more financially wise to that. I know one of our former guests on the program
his brother.
Yep, might be a little more in line with that gambling side, even though he's a business major.
I mean, business is business, Chaz, High risk, high rewards, low risk, high reward. All those types of things coming in gambling.
Oh, yeah. Low risk, high reward.
It's like I said earlier, through text, I think. I'd rather shoot 0 for 9 than 0 for 40. I mean, rather shoot 0 for 40 than 0 for 9.
Yeah, well, I guess, man, if that's the way you go into a casino and go into gambling, I'm sure you'll be broke quickly, and you might end up being 0 for 40 on what? You're doing 10-cent parlays?
Yeah, 0 for 9, you've lost confidence.
All right. I mean, I guess, but sometimes you got to know when to quit. I feel like you're kind of demonstrating that meme of the 2 tunnels digging, and there's the one who stops right before the money and the one that keeps going. But, hey, all right.
By the way, for, legal reasons, we don't support gambling.
Oh, yeah. All right. So no TSM Sportsbook yet. No real sportsbook on the way, but hey, maybe something's cooking. I don't know. We still need to get the gears rolling on that. That'd be a little interesting. These PBIS points really don't have a good home to go to. Why not? I mean, why not? It would get more fan attention on the games, I think. I think it's a good idea, to be honest. Speaking of the games, let's go to the games from last week, our East Sports Update, where we have plenty going on. And we'll start with the results. We had some boys basketball, girls basketball, and some esports to go over. Tim, bring us through it.
All right, so last Friday, Cumberland hosting Cranston East. They won 81-58. Another bad game. But a good highlight, though. Muhammad Gay, the freshman, keeps on looking bright, or, the underclassman keeps on looking bright. Should be a good building block for Coach Delfino's future if he decides, to stay here. I'm just saying, just in case, all things unnatural happen, all by the glory of God.
Right.
Tiverton playing Cranston East for girls basketball. They won by 20, 49-29. Jana got away 12 points. Maya Jimin is inactive for her last 2 games as a senior on the team. The first Rocket League Esports 3-0 win over North Providence. Justin Mazur-Lallier, 5 goals, 4 saves. Ray Narcisse, an assist and 7 saves. And Rajan Martinez-Perez with 3 goals, 3 assists, 3 saves, so a single triple for him. Big win, 3 matches. First one went 3-1, 3-1 again for the second, and a 2-0 shutout for the final over North Providence. They're waiting on a couple of matches.
Is a single triple a known stat taken, or are we?
I don't think so. I mean,
sounded fun.
It was just a little thing to look at. I mean, 3 goals, 3 assists, 3 saves. You got triple threes. I'm not going to question anything about that because we haven't been that popular yet in terms of worldwide standards being invited, unfortunately. They're just waiting on a couple more games to see if they make playoffs. But a team that doesn't have to wait for playoffs is the Esports Mario Kart team. 2-0 win over eCube to secure the undefeated season, looking like the 2007 Patriots, but hopefully they don't mess up the final game. Jocelyn Mazur-Lallier, 66 points. Miles Darkanji, 64. 105-51 and 93-63 in the 2 what I would assume, cups or maps or whatever. And then finally, 2 days ago, Valentine's Day, wasn't looking very lovely for our girls basketball team. They lost to Moses Brown, 65-19. Bella Dupree, 8 points. To be fair, this is the best team in D2 basketball right now. They got a very young and a very talented core that's only going to improve, next year.
Well, good thing we switched senior night off of that game. That would have been an interesting one. Speaking of senior night, we had girls basketball last week, but this week, boys basketball senior night is tonight if you're listening day of, this Friday, and it's going to be live on the Fans Only Sports Network and available. Anyone welcome to come down to the Venetula Gym and come enjoy the final game from some seniors here for our boys basketball team.
Yeah, and this could be history for the first time in this podcast, but yesterday, Cranston East blew out LaSalle. Freshman quarterfinals, 63-33 win. And for me, I was looking at, the future because these freshmen are already playing well, especially against, guys that, are either likely, potentially recruited or, just playing there to play. Guy that got the ball a lot for LaSalle was Jadion Campbell. He didn't do too much, held him down. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good talent on that freshman team. I mean, Armin Reed from football is on the roster. There's this guy Armani Alvarez had some nice plays, double zeros. Was good. I'm lacking on the name. I apologize for that, but again, there's a lot of good talent on that team that can, rise up and continue to work with this coaching staff, which, even though the season for the varsity team didn't go well, I mean, I think that's what Coach Delfino wants planned. I mean, he's got the entire staff set up to, down the road, make perennial playoff contenders.
Yeah, it seems like for years, really, the Cranston East basketball team has been building in the JV and freshman level. They've been building teams. I know their JV team has had good success, but they've also been very junior-heavy teams that have been winning a lot. And It hasn't transitioned over to varsity yet, but maybe the new coaching staff will do a better job of moving the talent through the system and getting them varsity ready when it's time to get after it at their division level. We'll see if there is any relocation of their team after the season or anything for next year. And it was Coach Delfino's first season. He has the senior night left to go this Friday, and he did all right for his first season. It got it going to a quick start, I think, with that Hendricken win or Hendricken close matchup. It was one of Hendricken's closest games of the year, and Cranston East was there all the way. But Delfino started the season off hot. Maybe some expectations after that game were a little out of proportion.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the new coach, the new coach feeling, you get one game in, you think you're on top of the world, and then, things start falling down.
Yeah, well, we'll see how next season fares for him. We know it was Delfino's first year, but there's also an opening in the football department for Cranston East, a job posted earlier on a couple weeks ago for the head football coach and all assistant jobs for Cranston East football. We know they haven't really had the success that you're going to need to be one of the top programs. We're a big high school, not putting up big numbers, and not putting up big numbers even in people wanting to play football. So there's going to be a coaching change. There's some great candidates that are lined up, and it looks like things might turn around for Cranston East as they prepare for a new division next season.
Yeah, just to get straight to the point, looks like Stanley Dunbar is the nominee from the hiring board to be approved as the next coach of the Cranston East football team. And I think the biggest thing, especially with the drop down to whatever division Cranston East is in now, is you got Division 3, you got 1,600 kids to work with, some of the male population to work with of Cranston East is a large school. I mean, 1,600 kids. And so that'll be Coach Dunbar's, if he gets the nod of approval from, the superiors, is to just start recruiting, man. I mean, when you have a school like this, you have a program that hasn't won in a long while, and by a long while, I mean a long while, or like a consistently winning team, 3-49 since 2019. Only one of them was a in-division win, D2.
This season.
Yeah, this season, which you got to
Senior
broadcast.
night victory. Yeah. It was a good one. I mean, you got the 2 consolation wins making up the other 2 of the 3. But it was a rough time, and we didn't miss a beat of it here in our tenure as Cranston East students. But maybe we leave, and then they'll start winning.
Yeah, there's going to be high confidence, especially with a new coach coming in. It felt like that last time when we had Coach Delfino hired. I mean, he brought a lot of things to the East program. I mean, heck, one of the biggest things is that he finally brought an Instagram page for the boys basketball team, which,
They were also wearing their team merchandise, it seemed, from day one. So they were right on top of that, right on top of their branding, and, building a culture.
Yeah, that he's going to build Coach Dunbar is going to have to build a culture. He's going to have to, give these guys a reason to play for their school, and not, if you're talented, go somewhere else to like a private school or whatever. You have to have a reason to stay here, and I think Coach Dunbar is the perfect guy to, be that person to say, hey, stay here and help build up this program with me, and we are going to win.
Yeah, Dunbar, with, according to sources, a reputation of being a program builder and a culture changer, was an all-state player at St. Ray's High School, quarterback of the 2007 Division I state champs, and went on to play at URI. So he's definitely experienced and big involvement in the community, building his teams up and getting things rolling for his program. A good addition. Hopefully we'll see if that's what they go with when it's all said and done. But I'm excited for the future of the program. Maybe we come back on Thanksgiving and actually see a win once in a while.
Yeah, become super seniors for a day. Or,
acceptable. I think that's the only day you get a pass.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're on the team, you can get a pass for a couple other games in the season, maybe senior night or the
maybe
opening
the
game.
Basketball Winter Classic.
I mean, what's that draw? I don't know.
You're coming back home, might as well see how the basketball team's doing.
Yeah, definitely the Thanksgiving game. If the turducken's there, I'm there. So just make sure that's known. We have all the East sports out of the way, but maybe the most important sporting event of the winter season is going down today, and it's not senior night. Sorry about it. It's the students versus faculty game. We had one last year, and it was the teachers with a 45-41 victory getting it done last year. And this year, we're back with another game. This time, it's going to be broadcasted live on the Fans Only Sports Network.
Recorded.
Or tape delay, I guess. You still got to give your honor student their prize and not just let everyone in the school watch at the same time. But you'll still have the content for you after the game on the Fans Only Sports Network. You can check that out. We'll definitely have a link up on Thunderbolt Sports Media's Instagram page at TB Sports Media when it's available for you guys to go ahead and watch. I'll be on the call with our producer, Ashton Allison, and we're going to be bringing you all the action. I think Evan Morrell doing camera, and you'll be preoccupied with your PA duties or color commentary.
Yeah, color commentary. Does that mean I, just speak on the mic every second? Definitely not. But it should be a fun time. We got a lot of people on that squad that are going to, make an impact for both sides. I mean, if you want me to list them right now, Chaz, I'd be happy to do so if you want to leak that over.
We can go down the full roster if you want. There's plenty to go over. We have on the teacher side, Eli Itkin, Coach Isaiah McDaniel coming off of an MVP caliber or winning performance last year. He didn't sit the whole game. And he really just put it on. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why he got it. There's also Mr. Smith, who everyone knows. He's one of the big targets. He struggled at the free throw line last year. We'll see how he bounces back.
Yeah, maybe I hold a press conference for him in AP Lit this period.
Hey, that'd be great, as long as it gets published this time. Who knows?
I don't know.
We did get to talk to Mr. Smith, and he did provide us a Thunderbolt Sports Talk exclusive while we were planning this episode on Wednesday. Looking forward to this game. He said, I expect the same result as last year. Experience always wins, and experience they do have, Tim.
One of the people I've heard most about, or, over the last couple of days, was Mr. Itkin, who is a guidance counselor and also part of the College Crusade people.
Onward We Learn program.
Onward We Learn. My mistake.
He does work out of the guidance counselor
thank you,
office.
Mr. Producer. Yeah. He was a basketball player in college. Apparently, averaged a 20 a game, I guess.
No, I believe that was the minutes he played per game.
Average 20 minutes per game.
7 points, it seemed, on average in his top seasons.
At least he played in college.
He's a great player, and
surprisingly, I was trying to get a little highlight reel out of him, see what he was made out of.
He has him posted on his Instagram.
Yeah,
he's a hooper.
I was looking through the YouTubes, and I saw an interview. And I saw an interview from 11 years ago. You know how 11 years ago is, so he's like 20, he's like mid-20s, late 20s.
He's definitely an athlete. He was a big tennis player and switched the ball at Husson University or whoever.
He got CM Media.
You say that? Yeah, he's officially official.
Yeah.
He gets it done. And Mr. Smith said that's his twin. They're pretty similar looking.
There's a lot of twins of Mr. Smith here in this high school.
Yeah, well, you could say that. Let's go down the rest of the teacher roster.
Okay. We got Mr. Rico. Obviously going to be a big candidate for MVP this game.
I mean,
Um,
if you got somebody that can dunk,
yeah.
well, you might as well use him. And he is a serious threat to
Mhm.
this students' team.
Yeah, Miss Lambrezi. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If she puts on a good performance today, we will know her name.
Wow.
That's all I will say.
Special education teacher here at Cranston East.
Yeah, Mr. Blessington, maybe a little bit on the wrong side of the age spectrum. But you never know. You never know.
Doubting his
Mr.
talents here.
Masterson, I think the big question for him is, will he survive warm-ups? Last year he had to exit the game early. And now the question is this year is he gonna log a shot off? Last year was it even like half a minute into the game? I think it was like 10 seconds in, and he
Yep. He's the sports analytics teacher at Cranston East, among other classes, and he might be the future of Thunderbolt sports media.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I'm just saying.
We're going to have to see something on the court. Make him prove it.
Yeah. I mean, might as well just take my route. I mean, just suck at sports and just go on the broadcasting route.
Oh, wow. Would you look at that?
Yeah.
There's also the head coach of the student side, and Michaela Salois.
The student side?
Whatever. The teacher side, Michaela Salois, the coach, once again.
Yeah, our AP, person, Miss Bell, is on the team as well.
And then they also have experience. Their final member of the team is Meg Shuchuk, the PE/health teacher who played college basketball. Had an injury a couple years ago, but she's back to full strength. She's definitely another big part of that team in the teachers.
Does this game count for comeback player of the year, or is it a little bit too late?
Man, I don't know. I don't know how many awards that we can drill up for this, but maybe the biggest secret weapon of the game for the teacher side is going to be their referee.
Yeah. Referee is Billy Coughlin, Mr. Coughlin. I've always had a little bit of a history with him when it comes to calling those games. He's a Bills fan. He's evil. And I don't think he's going to call a fair game today, Chaz. I'm not sure. If the teachers are just down by one, you know what he's going to call. He's going to call a foul on one of our top players. And that is going to be the gist of it.
I was looking at last year's game, and I noticed that there was a technical foul called on the teachers for 6 players being on the court. So maybe there is a little heart in this Grinch of a referee. I don't know. But he was calling technical fouls when they had to. Because I remember that.
Like 6 people on
the teachers just had 6 people for a decent amount of time.
Yeah, I thought Mr. Fifth's experience is always better. I mean, you don't understand the rules. I don't know how you call that experienced.
We are kind of up in the air on what kind of time we're playing for this game. Last year, it was quarters. Mm-hmm. This year, I'm hearing talk of 20-minute running clock.
I think the quarter situation is a lot better. I mean, you get a break, which is the most important part.
Yeah, these teachers, some of them, Mr. Blessington included, might not be able to keep up for a 20-minute quarter, even if it is running clock.
10 minutes in, I think they're going to be gassed out.
Yeah, they have 9 players. 9 players on the teacher's side.
Yeah, so that's only like 4 substitutions you can make. That's going to be an issue they have to work with. They're kind of shorthanded this year compared to the big student list.
And while we're at it, we can't go without mentioning the 2 11th grade students back again for this year after last year had Maya Jimenez and Devin Tevia as the 2 male and female 11th graders. This year, Darian Peterson and Liana Hernandez both playing on varsity basketball teams at Cranston East. A little more experience and maybe just what the teachers need to keep up the pace with these young students.
Yeah, for Hernandez, I'm sure she's going to log in the full game. But for Peterson, obviously their senior night later today, which is supposed to start at 7:15. But, maybe just take this as a little light warm-up thing. If he's able to get his shots off from perimeter, which, he is known to do, he's going to be a huge, huge part to, this staff team.
let's switch over to the seniors, whose roster is pretty large and pretty stacked. They have Junior Joaquin Hernandez, Larry Yin, who are both TSM members and big parts of our operations here. Larry Yin, a little bit of a trader, going back to his Cranston West territory where he played JV basketball in his freshman and sophomore year. Even had a career high of 32 points, I believe, in one game, 33 points, as he is getting back into the basketball. This is his first organized game in a while since that sophomore season. He played on varsity volleyball last year. They have Kevin Castro Ramos, Cameron Felici, who I'm sure you have plenty to say about. He's also a little bit of a traitor from what I've seen.
A little bit of a traitor. How so?
Well, you know, he wore those Cranston West colors proudly.
Oh, yeah.
During our pep rally on Thanksgiving.
The unified sports shirt?
Yeah, it's still Cranston West.
Oh, okay.
Jaywan Sion, Philip Disukudo, Eston Fowler, Daniel Tutt, Jalen Cotto, Gabe Matthew.
Jalen Cotto?
It is not Cotto.
Is not Cotto?
Gabe Matthew, Juan Naboa, Jaden Tolentino, Noah Barros, Maya Jimenez, and Erickson Serrano, with their coach being Edgar Lopez.
He's going to walk out to Daddy's Home by Usher.
Yeah, if you oblige his wish, you're the PA announcer, as we said.
Might as well, if he's just going to do a little walkout.
Yeah, you're getting a big plan here with your setup. I know your music taste is going to be on full display, and we're going to have a little bit of maybe soundboard action.
Look, I wouldn't. I want to bring up this, this little situation. I mean, let me look at it again. If you sent it in the, did you send it in our little group chat?
Yes.
You're gonna have to scroll up. The man with a mic, Timothy Yin, TSM president.
Yep.
Co-host of Thunderbolt Sports Talk. SOS and broadcaster. All right. I'm gonna save the next one for last. Okay. Always fighting illness, and I can take that. I mean, right now I'm still kind of got a little bit of some stuff in my nasal systems.
Yep.
Hurts your drums often. I mean, it's kind of a given.
Yep.
Shout outs for Hannah Lake Candy. So shout out to you, Chaz, for making that. And shout out to Mr. DePalma last night for making those fantastic.
Maybe he makes
shout outs.
Maybe he makes it. Yeah, fantastic shout outs. But maybe he makes a surprise appearance in this student faculty game. We don't have any administrators currently. I know last year we were having administrators that I didn't even know were administrators playing. Yeah. So maybe we have a surprise appearance. I know no one can stop De Palma when he has that wolf in him.
Why don't I don't know why they also bring in Mr. Coleman as the second referee. He was reffing yesterday. For the freshman game.
Yeah, I think he was playing.
A little bit more fair. Instead of having a clearly biased, quote unquote psychology teacher, or a social studies teacher. At the home. Bad at Madden. You can just say that for your own confidence, Chaz. We have one published game.
Boost ego. One published game.
Yeah, boost ego.
And who won it?
Yeah. Okay. Me. Yeah, off a game winner. Because I was stupid. Yeah.
Okay.
Lowest recorded approval ratings of a student council president in the history of the school. So.
Unconfirmed, but pretty much.
Unconfirmed. I'm not sure where you. I'm not sure where do you get your. I'm not sure where you get your sources from. Where do you get your sources from?
Basically, when you look at it, and it's that low.
What are you looking at?
When you look at your approval rating, like I said.
What are you looking? What
and
approval
it's that
rating?
Low.
What are you looking at?
You can't get lower.
What are you looking at?
You just gotta assume
what are you
that it's the lowest.
What are you looking at?
It's the lowest. So
what are you looking at to say that it's the lowest?
I took a poll.
You took a poll. What type?
I got a 0% approval rating.
Who'd you poll?
Me.
You polled yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
0 for 1.
For Chaz.
0 for 1, and that's the lowest recorded I've ever seen.
For Chaz.
Yes.
It's the lowest approval rating for him because that's the only person he interviewed.
Okay.
Obviously he's just doing this.
We don't need to get into the nuts and bolts of everything.
The nuts and bolts of everything.
I mean, if you want to go inside baseball, we have the the stuff to back it up.
You could have at least put an honest fact, like I don't know baseball.
Okay,
obviously you didn't put that.
Well,
so obviously it must be a fact that I know baseball.
Well, no, that's not how that works.
Well, If it's not on
If it's not on the sheet, then it does not.
you know,
Okay.
I also have to fight.
There's a lot of things that aren't on the sheet, Tim. I don't know if you want to take this road. Okay. Okay.
You have a full. You can make a little paragraph out of it. I mean,
I guess.
You know, you're taking AP Lit. You know how to write your thesis statements. You know how to write your little main paragraphs and quotes and all that. You know, I understand that you are doing that. You're making these graphics by yourself.
Yep.
You know, you're having the creative talent. You're learning all this by yourself.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And yet, you're still finding a way to falsify information.
Hey, you can talk to us about it on the broadcast. If you want to come over, have a second on the broadcast, we'll have a third headset waiting for you. If you want to argue about this, you can bring it up there. And if you want to hear Tim Yeen's take on his music, you can tune in there.
The music taste is not questionable.
Yeah,
Look. If you want to be honest, I don't know a lot of music. Okay, I'll take that. But to call my music taste questionable just because of that, I'm just saying.
How'd you like the new Kanye album?
The new Kanye album, great.
Okay. All right. So, that album was terrible.
What do you mean it was terrible?
It was terrible. It was actually terrible.
You're saying it's terrible, but you're not giving a reason why.
Because every song was not good except for the song Carnival was all right, and the song that Northwest had was actually decent. It was like the second best song.
Were you like a one-time listener? Did you not try and give the album a second chance?
It was pretty bad. Everyone was saying, wow, this album is really bad. Shout out Kanye, though, because he does have some new merchandise that he dropped.
At least
on Yeezy.com and $20 for everything. That's pretty good.
At least he dropped jazz, you know.
Yeah, I know. I know Andy Wu, your boy, was very upset by how many times he was faked out by Kanye.
Yeah, I was upset, you know, by the fact that, you know, it wasn't released the same time as Apple Music for Spotify. So.
Oh, well, yeah. We kind of expected that, you know, Spotify and we don't need to get into all the details about why they don't get along.
Okay. Let's skip your quote-unquote nuts and bolts and, you know, let's head on to whatever you have next on your little sheet.
All right. Well, tune in when we upload the student versus faculty game. We have plenty of things planned pre-game and during the game. It should be an entertaining broadcast. There's going to be a third headset that anyone can really pick up who wants to talk, who's allowed on air, you know.
There's a halftime.
Yeah, maybe there is a halftime show. We have plenty of things that we can do during this time, as long as the bleachers are pulled in, as they hopefully will be.
Hey, man, if you want to ensure your spot is saved.
I would, if I had my third period wide open like you do.
What are you doing, Mr. Danforth, that is so
Well, I actually have an
assignment
due today. I have a project due today.
What? Well, how long did you have to do the project?
I have two-thirds of it left. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, are you like okay?
It's not even procrastinating. I was just doing these graphics for the game because that's what is more exciting to me.
So you're sidetracking. You're sidetracking yourself.
It's all right. It's for the sake of East. It's for the sake of East. And let's move into our final topic.
It's for the sake of avoiding the project. Okay, let's continue.
Yeah, sure. I get my stuff done on time. I know some people who don't in that class who sit next to me. And final topic of the day. We went the whole program without it, but we got to mention it. Our ELA class, we always provide an update. Yeah. And we finished up Lord of the Flies. We finished up the movie, a little skip throughing it a little, but we moved on to know what our actual assignment is going to be now.
Yeah, we have an essay. We have 4 topics, Jazz. Have you already chosen one yet?
No, I didn't know we had actually separate topics. I
thought we had a choice.
I thought it was one topic about comparing. I thought it was just 4 things that you have to mention.
Yeah, it was like choose one of the following essay prompts and write a persuasive essay,
that makes it
including a counter-argument.
That makes it easier.
So I'm obviously going to choose number 2 because we've been talking about it on the podcast. The topic is, of all the boys on the island, who was the best leader? You may choose any boy on the island, but you must make a valid argument to support your choice as the best leader.
You know,
book at least 4 times.
One of the options, or a couple of them, I think, relate to the movie we're watching currently. That's Castaway, the famous film with Wilson. The Wilson volleyball named Wilson that we have actually just seen for the first time in our viewing. We're going to finish up the movie today.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and it's going to be, I think it's a good movie so far. I know it's a classic.
I mean, I guess the only complaint, I watched it before and I liked it. I get to watch it again. I'm still liking it.
Tom Hanks, the star, and
I know the lack of dialogue, may irritate some people, especially, a lot of yappers. But,
interesting.
I like the movie. The Tom Hanks movie is always a classic. Forrest Gump.
Mm-hmm.
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, wow.
All of that. I mean, whatever Tom Hanks is in the movie, it's about to be a banger.
Yeah. And bangers, as the ELA class is off and running, we're going to get this project going and hopefully get back to our research paper soon. We have a lot to do in this class before our AP test in May. And it's been an exciting time with Lord of the Flies. We're going to say goodbye to them. And the ending of Lord of the Flies, I know we talked about it, but I don't know if I really liked it.
I mean, it was
kind of seemed abrupt.
Abrupt. I mean, I guess that's how Mr. Smith phrased it that way. I mean, it was like what would they call it? An unlikely source of saviorism or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Kind of think you're making up words there. But Ralph, inches from getting chased down and hunted by these savages, bumps into his savior. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's over.
It was over.
And we got to see Ralph say, "I'm still the leader, bud." And Jack say, "I guess
after
so.
losing
Whatever."
leadership,
Yeah, well, so that's not going to be your pick.
That's why I'm running Ralph as the best leader.
Oh, he is the best leader.
I mean, Jack.
Oh, okay.
Jack.
I was going to say, because you've been really against Ralph all the time.
I am part of the anti-Ralph agenda.
Oh, nice. Well, February break is coming up, and I don't think we're going to catch you in our next week. We might have to take this week off.
Yeah.
And be back with you after February break. I believe this is officially winter break. I don't know exactly all the names. I think we have Christmas break, winter break, and spring break.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is winter break.
And you get to head down to Miami for it.
Oh, wow. Really?
No.
Oh, all right.
You got to head out to Cambodia, though.
Oh, that's now?
No, April.
Oh, April. All right, yeah.
Why would I go in February?
Who knows, man? I don't know the climate down there. Is it
Wow.
Is it a similar climate? It's cold down there in February?
No, I mean, but, April is when the Cambodian New Year is, so.
Oh, okay. We're celebrating holidays down there?
Yeah, for most of the months.
Well, I'm probably going to get on my scholarships during the February break, get some stuff sorted around there. I think I have actually, I don't know. I don't think I have anything college-related besides February 28th. That's after break.
Yeah, and April Chaz, I can be like that, that lady on TikTok. You have been promoted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We're going to be interesting to see what we do come April.
Yeah.
Probably going to have a revolving door of co-hosts, or maybe we just get Ashton to talk. Who knows?
Talk loud.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe. We'll see when we get there, but for next week, no episode. February break. We'll take a week off. You guys can take a week off from listening to us, or listen to an old episode. Why not? Maybe you've missed some along the way.
Yeah. Listen to the Caden Holtzman episode, the Ben Chen episode.
The Ben Chen, yep. Caden, and there's a good couple of episodes in there. We have a few solo ones that are pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
Just skip episode 3, why don't you, please?
Yeah, hopefully this one, lives up to our
expectations. I think it was good.
Yeah.
I think we did well, and we got it done. We're at the 48-minute and 30-second mark as we're going to sign off and have a great rest of your week. We hope to see you interacting with the podcast. Share, like, repost, do whatever to help out the program because we support other. I don't know. I forgot the whole YouTube spiel, but thank you for listening. And Tim, sign us off.
Chaz, you have been demoted.
Oh, what the?